first Mr. Jorge Antonio Renaud presenting something, and then we will have Sarah Fox and Joel Guzman sharing some music with us. So let's welcome them.
Not just start today. It did not just start last week. It did not start last year. It did not start 100 years ago. This particular fight over this particular issue in this particular land began in 1519. Sangre de Azteca. Aztec blood. I have Aztec blood. I am a warrior, descendant of Moctezuma, the imperial son. I wrap myself in my zarape. My sombrero is my blanket. I am poor, I am humble, I am proud of my pueblo. I have my Virgencita, my brothers, and I have no fear. I pray to her each night, and she gives me what I need. I am not from a foreign land. My back is not wet. This earth was nourished by the sweat and blood of Aztecs. In 1519, Hernando Cortez arrived, a foreigner to Yucatan, armed with a conqueror's plan. With his whip and iron sword, inflicting pain and despair, in a fury to be superior and leave his mark upon the land. I am not from a foreign land. My back is not wet. This earth was nourished by the sweat and blood of Aztecs. Que viva mi gente.
Yo tengo sangre de azteca, mi carácter es de guerrero. Descendiente Moctezuma, bélico de aquel imperio. Me arrojo con el zarape, mi cobija es mi sombrero. Yo soy por eso y humilde y orgulloso de mi pueblo. Yo tengo a mi virgencita, mi hermano, no tengo miedo. Le rezo todas las noches y me ayuda en lo que quiero. Y robo con el zarape en mi cobija y en mi sombrero. Yo soy por eso y humilde y orgulloso de mi pueblo. Tu grito, mi raza. ¡Que viva Texas! De tierra extraña, mi espalda no está mojada. Esta sembrada con el sudor y sangre azteca. Sí se puede, sí se puede, sí, sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede. Ay, Diosito, como sí se puede, y mamá, un grito mi raza. En el 1519 Hernando Cortés llegó. Gutiérrez de Yucatán con su plan de conquistar. Con su látigo y su espada él fue infligiendo dolor, queriendo deber su marca y querer ser superior. Yo no sé qué tierra extraña mi espalda no está mojada. Esta tierra fue sembrada con el sudor y sangre azteca.
Help me welcome Representative Berman.
Buenas tardes, ¿cómo está? Muchas gracias a Dios y a toda la gente aquí. Es muy importante. As a member of the Texas House of Representatives Committee on Homeland Security and Public Safety, I'm here to tell you what they're proposing to do is really, really a bunch of bad ideas. And I'm going to go into that a little bit. First of all, thank you to all of you for being here. You're here to say no to the most racist session of the Texas Legislature in over a quarter of a century. So thank you very much for being here. You're here to say no to xenophobia. You're here to say no to old-fashioned bigotry and ignorance. And let me tell you, old-fashioned bigotry and ignorance is running rampant at your state capitol. And one of the reasons it's running rampant is too many people don't vote. Not only does Texas have the lowest rate of high school graduation of any of the 50 states, we have the lowest rate of voter participation. So, at a demonstration today, it's important. But let's talk about the future as well. Despite the anti-government pledges of many of my new colleagues in this Texas legislature, they are trying to turn this state into a police state for people of color and people who have Spanish as their first language. We cannot let them get away with this. We cannot let this happen. We must fight here, now, in this legislative session, but we must also be ready to fight in the courts. And as I said earlier, if you don't start fighting back in the ballot box, the next session will be as bad as this session. My Republican colleagues have filed at least 12 bills so far that would turn our local police officers into la migra. And the very people that know the best that this is a bad idea are the sheriffs of our counties and our police chiefs of our municipalities. We have entrusted them with our public safety. They have a job to do, and they don't need any interference from the Texas legislature. They, the police chiefs and the sheriffs, have all issued the warning. They are responsible for making our communities safe, but this legislation, the legislation proposed, discourages immigrants from reporting crimes and cooperating with local police officers. It encourages criminals to prey on our undocumented workers. And it will also increase the already overworked time of police officers doing clerical work instead of the real meaningful work of protecting our public safety. We must stop these fundamentally bad ideas that will also be bad for the wealthy white elite Republicans. Because let me ask my colleagues, do you really want to wait for that police officer to come investigate the burglary of your home or the attempted rape of your wife until they're available, until they have finished up inspecting the citizenship status of somebody that they had no business detaining in the first place? Law enforcement needs the ability to focus on what's really important, and that's the growing crime rate, the violent criminals, the people committing felonies. That's who our police officers and sheriff's departments need to be focusing on, not on the otherwise peaceful, otherwise law-abiding immigrants that are just here trying to make a living. I want to give you one example, and I'm going to give a little shout out. For 10 years, I was the director of the Dallas Peace Center, and the new director standing right in front of me before. In Dallas, Texas, in greater Dallas County, we've already seen the results of racial profiling in the city of Irving, and it ain't pretty. Immediately after the city of Irving allowed ICE to have access to their jails, in April of 2007, there was a dramatic increase in the number of Latinos arrested for petty offenses, especially traffic offenses. That's called racial profiling. You get busted just because of the color of your skin. 3 months after the city of Irving partnered with ICE, there was a 223% increase in the number of the Latinos arrested for these traffic offenses. There was a 98% of these people were referred to ICE where it was all about misdemeanors. This is wrong-headed public safety. The Republican authors of these bills want us to turn our backs on the country's basic values, and I think you're here to say no. No to unfairness, no to inequality, no to racism. No somos Arizona, ni los haremos. We do better. We can do better. You must make sure we do better.